Welcome to another edition of This Week in Disc Golf. It is Tuesday, October 25th. I'm Charlie Eisenhood. Let's talk about what happened this week. Well, it may be the off-season, but there's no shortage of drama going on in the disc golf universe. GK Pro and Eagles Crossing hosted the Big Money Skins match this past weekend out at the Eagles Crossing course. And although it was $50,000 on the line for the winner, the conversation has not been so much about who won as it has been about the failure of the live stream. It was a paywalled $14.99 live stream, and it had significant issues from video to audio to being available on time to professionalism, and really all around just a complete failure. GK Pro has been apologetic online and will be processing refunds for everybody. They wrote over on Facebook. Refunds for livediscgolf.net will begin processing today. This was on Monday. We are working with YouTube to process membership refunds next. GK Pro is committed to getting refunds to all who purchased the pay-per-view. Now, the good news is GK Pro is doing post-produced coverage of the final round, so you'll be able to tune in and see who wins the $50K for winning the most skins throughout the course of the weekend. So somebody's going home happy with even more money than was on the line for the winner of the Disc Golf Pro Tour Championship. But certainly a cautionary tale in the live streaming world. A lot of people give Disc Golf Network a hard time, but it's tough to execute a high-quality live stream. And Mason Productions and GK Pro and Eagles Crossing learned that the hard way this weekend. Well, I know I just said it was the off-season, but only sort of, because the 2023 Disc Golf Pro Tour season actually gets started this weekend at the Lake Marshall Open. It's part of the new Wraparound tournaments that will be taking place this fall. There's 2 silver events that will count towards the 2023 points total, so players can get a head start on qualifying for the Disc Golf Pro Tour Championship next year. So the Lake Marshall Open, we'll talk more about it in a bit, but I do want to talk about the points structure for next year because that has just been announced by the Pro Tour. Instead of silver events being worth 25% of a typical Elite Series event, this coming year they're going to be worth 50%. That means a total of 150 total points will be available, the best 3 results of a player's season. If you win the tournament, you're going to get 50 points compared to getting 100 points for winning at an Elite Series. Now, they've also simplified the top end. Elite Plus events, playoff tournaments, so tournaments like the MVP Open, and majors are all going to be worth 150% of the Elite Series points next year, so 150 points for a win. So rather than the majors being weighted more, they're going to be weighted equally to the playoff events and to the new Elite Plus events, the Portland Open and Ledgestone. So it all gets started this weekend at the Lake Marshall Open, and we will start to see who puts themselves at the top of the leaderboard heading into the holidays. For now, though, most of the focus will remain on the 2022 season that just finished up. The media voting for Player of the Year and other end-of-season awards has concluded, but the fan vote is still open until Wednesday. That's tomorrow. So if you want to go vote for who you think should be on the second and third card All-Stars for both MPO and FPO, and vote for Most Improved Player, go over to dgpt.com to place your vote and be a part of who gets to be on those second and third All-Star spots that will compete at the All-Star tournament in February of next year before the Las Vegas Challenge and the start of the season. And that brings us to our Mando stat of the week, and it's a good one. Over at the Oklahoma Open in Tulsa, playing at the Blackhawk course, Kat Mertsch's final round that propelled her to a victory in FPO was 1038 rated. That's the highest rated round of the year in FPO, and it was just one shot off the hot round in MPO, and yes, they were playing the same layouts. So Kat Mertsch going to an A tier in Oklahoma, absolutely shredding. Reports on the ground said that it was just remarkable to watch her throwing in some difficult wind conditions, and she shoots the highest rated round of the year. That comes courtesy of Mando. On to the social media minute. Brittany Dickerson, wife of Chris Dickerson, posted over on Instagram about all of the states that Chris and Brittany spent at least one night in this season. 19 different states. It really gives you a sense of the scope of travel that the touring professionals have. And of course, they drove through many more than the states that they stayed overnight in. But quite the list, and a great way to see the country as a pro disc golfer. Speaking of Chris Dickerson, he's going to be in action this weekend at the Lake Marshall Open. It's the first silver event of the 2023 season, taking place in Montross, Virginia. He'll be the highest rated player in the field, and will take on a number of other notable names from around the MPO division as they seek to get an offseason started right with a win at one of the most highly decorated private courses in the country. A lot of fanfare about this one. There was supposed to be live coverage, but unfortunately, there's not enough cell coverage at the event, so they're going to have to just focus on post-produced coverage that will be available on the Disc Golf Pro Tour's YouTube channel. If you are jonesing for some live action, though, you can tune in on Saturday to the final round of the National Amateur Disc Golf Championships, and that'll be taking place in Austin, Texas. And we've seen some really notable names win this tournament and then go on to success on the tour, like Kyle Klein, for example. So if you want to see the next generation of players, tune in on Disc Golf Network this Saturday, and then look for post-produced coverage next day for Lake Marshall all weekend long. Last thing I want to let you know about before we sign it off, the new On Tour series from the Disc Golf Network, which chronicles the biggest stories, the behind the scenes, the drama, and the personalities of the players from throughout the 2022 season, debuts on Monday, October 31st, a Halloween special. So get your Disc Golf Network subscription if you don't have one. Keep it active if you do have one, and tune in to On Tour. 6 episodes running weekly starting on Monday, October 31st. And we'll be back to talk about episode 1 with you next week, right here on This Week.